the Indianapolis Colts had Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town.
The coaches of the United States have compared the players to movie characters. Benny Geeler was noted as Sunshine from Remember the Titans, and Brayley Albert is the California kid, Crush, from Finding Nemo. But the question remains, who's going to go from zero to hero and be Hercules for this United States squad in the second half?
In 2021, Simmons Little threw a total of 18 touchdown passes in his 11 games played. Fast forward to this year, he's got a total of 22 touchdown passes in only 6 games. A huge change that can only come from the work that Simmons Little put in this offseason. Although not the full result that the Maccabi U.S. men's open volleyball team wanted here in Jerusalem, they know that one thing's for sure, they're going to be looking forward to that gold medal rematch against Israel. Reporting from Jerusalem, Evan Kamikow, Maccabi Media. While Butler's picked to finish 8th in the Big East preseason coaches poll, the Bulldogs are bringing back preseason honorable mention Chuck Harris and adding an additional 4 standout transfers from their programs, all because of one common denominator: head coach Thad Matta. Head coach Rick Carlisle spoke about the fact that it's tough to really judge where this team's at only 8 games into this season. However, one of the most encouraging signs is that the Pacers are second in the league when it comes to points allowed in the paint, something they've done without veteran leader Miles Turner for a majority of this season.
The biggest game changer for the Hoosiers tonight, Jordan Geronimo coming off the bench, 15 points and 7 boards in a game that was primarily decided right here in the paint. Jack Tuttle got the start. He finds Peyton Hendershot for the 7-yard touchdown. Game tied at 7. But like the weather, this got ugly early in Bloomington. Buckeyes having their way at the Rock. First, it's Travion Henderson scampering in for the 21-yard score. Ohio State back in front. Xavier Johnson gonna do it himself. A stellar night for him. Drives in the lane, lays it in. High fives fans. In the end, one is good. Indiana gonna win it 76-74. They take on the Louisiana Raging Cajuns on Sunday.
To swim in his honor or to do something in his honor, it means a lot.
Carlos Nybreff is in Israel this summer to honor his son, Alon, who tragically passed away in the Surfside building collapse in Florida last year. In the last Maccabiah, Alon captained the U.S. under-16 soccer team, and he certainly would have returned to the games once again.
He was supposed to be with us today, but unfortunately, he's not with us. And that's why I got involved with the swimming team, and I decided to swim in his honor.
Carlos competed in his first Maccabiah 37 years ago as a track star for Argentina. He won medals for the South American country, but it was his son that helped switch his allegiance to the Stars and Stripes. A muscle injury ended Carlos's medal hopes in the 200-meter freestyle. But it's not about his finish, it's about diving right back in.
It's a moment where you start living again and think about something positive rather than something negative with what I wake up every day.
Although Nybreff didn't get the result he wanted to today, his connection with Maccabi USA and the greater Israeli community continues to grow stronger as each day passes.
I believe that the relationship between both countries is unique because we know both of us, that we can trust each other, and we are in anywhere we need to support one another.
Nybreff's love for Israel is even deeper than most. It was this country's defense forces, the IDF, which was working at the site in Surfside and found Alon's body in the rubble.
Only one group in the world that I knew was able to at least recover the bodies, because we knew that the chance to find somebody alive was very, very slim.
Although the pain will never go away, Alon's memory propelled Carlos to a silver medal in the 4x50 relay. Reporting from Netanya, Evan Kamikow, Maccabi Media.
To many high school football players, statistics are the most important thing to come from a game. But to Indiana State leading passer Cooper Simmons Little and the Traders Point Christian Knights, they are just merely numbers.
To me, that stuff doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to get towards is understanding that even the amount of passing yards I'm going to get, it's not going to be a factor in my life in 3 months or next year or anything.
He's very talented, but also the receivers around him, the linemen that are giving him time in the pocket, that's the reason you're seeing those stats. Those are team stats.
In 2021, Simmons Little threw a total of 18 touchdown passes in his 11 games played. Fast forward to this year, he's got a total of 22 touchdown passes in only 6 games. a huge change that can only come from the work that Simmons Little put in this offseason.
He spent a lot of time this offseason working on his footwork, and he came in this season a lot more confident.
I would say first making my good reads, but then second and most importantly to me is trusting my receivers, and when I throw it up, I know they can bring it down and get some yards after the catch.
Although there are only 28 players on the night squad in one of the smallest private schools, football still brings the community together like it's one of the biggest schools in the state.
And I like playing for this team because you know who's coming out Friday nights, and when you look up in the stands, you can give them a smile and understand you're going to see them Monday and be able to have a conversation with them about the game. And it's a fun community to play for.
We've got to play hard despite the numbers, and we love that opportunity to go out and play hard and represent Christ well.
Simmons Little and the Red Hot Knights are riding a 3-game win streak and face Monroe Central this week. From Whiteland, Evan Kamikow, Wish TV. After a bumpy first half, the Indiana men's basketball team found its footing and got a season-opening victory 88-53 against Morehead State.
This was the first game for these guys. I don't know if they were jittery or not, but I thought we came out with a great start, but you got to give Morehead State some credit. I thought the second half we turned it up from a defensive standpoint and did what we had to do to secure the win.
Well, Trace Jackson-Davis was back to his dominant self tonight, scoring 15 points. It was actually Indiana's bench that ignited Assembly Hall, going on a 14-0 run when the game was tied at 21 early in the first half.
I feel like, and we feel like we have 10 starters, 11 starters, 12 starters. So when that second group comes in, there should be no drop-off. Malik's been playing great. JG's been playing great. And then Fino's running that second team.
The starters who start the game, it's important for us to come in with energy. And when energy is applied, it's always gonna show. On the court. You know what I mean? Like we went on a little run. We got some stops, got some easy points. That's what you need when you come off the bench to have that that pop to keep you in.
The Hoosiers defense gave up only 24 points in the second half, but going 12 of 21 from the free throw line still concerns Coach Woodson.
I say defensively we did a solid job. I thought our switching. We got burned a couple times, but for the most part, I thought our switching was on par. So I just don't like the fact that we're missing free throws. That's really bothering me as a coach.
Indiana improves to 1-0 and faces Bethune-Cookman on Thursday. From Assembly Hall, Evan Kamikow, IUS-TV Sports.
A big day for Indiana athletics as we have breaking news out of Indiana basketball. I'm Evan Kamikow. Head coach Mike Woodson announced the departure of assistant coach and former IU basketball player Dane Fife. In a statement, Woodson said, "I am committed to doing what I believe is best for the continued growth of our men's basketball program. Ultimately, I believe that the fit must be right with the coaching staff, and I've decided to change is necessary." Now, what could have sparked the change? Your guess is just as good as mine. But Dane Fife will no longer be coaching at Indiana University in the fall. The other big news to come out of IU basketball is the announcement of former 5-star point guard Christian Lander entering his name into the transfer portal. Lander saw action in 13 games this season, averaging 2.9 points per game and 9.1 minutes played. Lander reclassified to come to Indiana early to play under former head coach Archie Miller and will now look for another team for the 2022-2023 season. Follow along with myself and Jevin McCoskey for all the latest IU basketball offseason news for IUS-TV Sports. Well, it was another busy offseason week from Indiana men's basketball, but we start with the biggest news so far. Starting point guard Xavier Johnson was arrested over the weekend for reckless driving and resisting arrest. Johnson was behind the wheel Saturday night and was caught traveling at 90 miles per hour on North Walnut Street. Fellow starter Parker Stewart was also in the car with Johnson, but not involved. Johnson, who averaged 12.1 points per game and 5.1 assists per game for IU this season, will face charges that are a Class 6 felony for resisting law enforcement and a Class C misdemeanor for reckless driving. No comment has been made by Coach Woodson yet, but IU Athletics stated that they will continue to gather facts, cooperate with, and monitor the legal process. In other news, former Associate Athletic Director for men's basketball Thad Matta will leave the IU program to take over as head coach at Butler University. It is rumored that former Hoosier assistant Dane Fife will join his staff at Butler. Congrats to Coach Matta. To the high school ranks, where Kwame Evans Jr. announced his final 5 schools, including Indiana. The power forward and number 2 overall recruit in the class of 2023 out of Montverde Academy's final list also includes Oregon, Auburn, Kentucky, and UCLA.
Evans Jr.'s decision is coming in the near future. And finally, congrats to Evans Jr. and IU signee Jalen Hood-Schifino on winning a second straight Geico National Championship at Montverde Academy in Florida. Hood-Schifino and the Hoosiers are ranked 21 in ESPN's Way Too Early 2022-2023 college basketball rankings. Continuing following along with myself and Jevin McCoskey for all the latest IU men's basketball offseason news. Back to you guys at the desk.
Now joining us at the desk is none other than Evan Kamikow. Evan, the Hoosiers play in Las Vegas this year. Is IUSTV Sports going to pay for our flights out?
Well, considering that I went to Portland last year and IUSTV Sports did pay for our flight there, I think they might pay for our flights to Vegas, but at the same time, after the last time I woke up in Vegas, I don't know if I could go back.
And that's going to be a really long car ride out there, and we have a lot of long ones ahead of us already.
I mean, we're going to get to know each other so well.
I think we might be able to become best friends.
I don't know. Did we? Are we?
I think we did. Wait, what's your favorite color? 1, 2, 3,
Blue.
red.
Okay, maybe not. Sam, I'm sorry. Maybe we have the same color, but enough of that. Let's jump right into basketball. That's why I'm here anyway. The Indiana Hoosiers men's basketball team comes into this season ranked 13 in the preseason AP poll. While the most people have their eyes on stars Trace Jackson Davis, Xavier Johnson, and Race Thompson, there's one player I truly believe could elevate this Hoosiers squad going into the season. Enter NCAA tournament breakout player Jordan Geronimo. You may have seen his dunks, but now you know Jordan Geronimo's name after his breakout game last season in the first four against Wyoming.
It was a playing game, you know what I mean, like trying to get the March Madness. It was a lot of hype to the game, and, you know, I love the hype. Just coming with the mindset, it's like, you know, just do or die here, you know what I mean? Like, I have to win this game. And just going in with that kind of mindset just gave me that extra boost.
After scoring 15 points against the Cowboys and 9 against St. Mary's in the round of 64, Geronimo is ready to take his game to the next level.
I'm going to try to play as a 3 this year, and it's going to happen for sure. So working on perimeter skills, decision-making, catch and shoot threes. Also, like, I don't want to, you know, forget, you know, being a forward. So I've worked on some post moves and, you know, spacing stuff.
He shot the ball well last year. He played well last year. He did what he was supposed to do. And I think that he's built out a role for himself. He knows he's going to get in the game. Every game he knows he's going to go out there, get offensive rebounds, make dirty plays. I'm really excited for him to make that jump to like the 3-4.
In Geronimo's first season with the Hoosiers, he played a total of 21 games and only had 47 points. In his second season, 35 games and 148 points, a big jump from year 1 to 2. But that's not what's catching his teammates' eyes. It's his work ethic and energy off the court that's really got the team going.
You know, and I love the energy when he comes in the game. He boosts me up. You know, I be tired when he comes in just a little bit. So, I mean, he gives the whole team energy.
I love the hype, but I'm a big energy person. Like, I'm a battery. So sometimes at practice, you know, if it's like quiet, I'm like, come on guys, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, let's go, let's pick it up. But just trying to be vocal. You know what I mean? Just trying to be supportive to my teammates.
Now as an upperclassman, Geronimo will help lead the 13th ranked Hoosiers as they take the court for the first time on November 7th against Morehead State. From Assembly Hall, Evan Kamikow, IUSTV Sports. So interestingly enough, if Geronimo would get ample time at the 3, he would be the starting forward, the small forward, but that was Miller Kopp last year. We all know Miller Kopp's shooting woes throughout last season, so could we be seeing a change? Possibly, but we'll have a lot more basketball updates as everything's going to be revealed within a couple of weeks. So make sure to follow along with all of our basketball beat teams to get you ready at home for this season. Hank, Sam?